This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so hi everyone, this is Karthik here. So good evening, good morning to you guys. Okay, so in last class we have seen configuring the SAML connection as well as like a policy selectors, adapters and PCBs, right? So we also configure data stores, PCB and HTML form adapter and selector, I mean not yet the selectors actually, but and then we also configure the SAML configurations, right? So today, before starting into today's session, is there any doubt in the last class? Any doubts? Means you can let me know. Like configuring the SAML configuration or creation of adapters or creation of PCB or creation of data stores. So if you have any doubts, means you can ask me now so that I can clarify and then we can continue with the session. So, no doubts. Shall we continue the session?
Yeah, so last season I was not able to do it, work it alongside with you. So then I have to look at the video and do those configurations. So I think
Okay,
I'm
okay.
lagging behind one session of that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like at start, it will be like that actually. So you don't need to worry about it. So you
Mhm.
can use to it later also. That is not a problem. Okay. So if you have, I mean, you just see the videos. So if you have any doubts, you can let me know. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be great. Like if you get like the video in the same day, so mm, end up the thing. But that's fine. We'll
Okay.
just
Sure.
follow with you. Yeah.
Okay. Sure, Manish. Yeah. So nothing else, right? Anything else from Shantosh or Shaurav? Okay. Okay. I think we can continue today's session actually. Okay. So yeah, we can continue today. So let me share my screen and then we can start it. Okay. Could you please confirm once you saw my screen? So I think it's visible. Yeah. So now in the last class, we have seen configuring the data stores. We have seen configuring the PCB. We also configured the adapters and then we also configured the SAML connection, right? So in the SAML connection, we saw the SAML response also, right? The SAML response as successful. And in the SAML response, we created one SP connection by using some dummy like service provider entity ID, and then we are sending the like user ID in the SAML subject. So now there is another application team. Okay, so they are asking, okay, create a configuration. Okay, create a SAML connection. Okay, with the entity ID as test-sp2, and then ACS URL is https://abc.com. Okay, so they are asking ACS URL is equal to https://abc.com and then entity ID as test-sp2. Okay, and then what they are asking in SAML subject, they are asking the email address. Okay, in SAML subject they are asking email address to be sent on. Okay, apart from the SAML subject, they are also asking us to as to send the UID, first name of the user and then last name of the user. Okay, so they are asking these many things to be sent in the SAML response. Okay, so in the last section, in the last configuration, what we did, we are sending only the UID in the SAML subject alone. That's all. We are not sending any other attributes in the SAML response. So in the SAML response, only the user ID is sending. Okay, but here in the SAML response, they are asking mail address in the SAML subject, and then apart from the mail address, they are also asking UID, first name, last name to be sent in the SAML response. Okay, so just hold on a minute before going into configuring this one. Okay. Let me open that OpenDJ and create a user in OpenDJ. Okay. Okay, give your admin account to log in into the OpenDJ server. Okay, so here click on the manage entries. Okay, create a new entry here. Okay, create a new user. Okay. Okay, first name, last name. Okay, UID, what UID? KA34, okay, KA546123. Okay, password. Okay, so that email address, that Zogo mail which you have created, right? Give that one, zogomail.in. Okay, phone number, click on OK. So here everything has been created, the user has been created here. Okay, so keep this user as a site. Okay, now what they are asking, create a SAML connection, okay, with the entity ID and then the SS URL. Okay, and then they are asking these 4 attributes to be sent in the SAML response. Okay, so they are asking only the HTML adapter. Okay, so they are not asking any other adapters. Okay, so now go back to the connection, SP connection. So they don't want any other adapters, actually they want only the HTML adapter. Okay, so now go to the SP connections, click on the SP connections. Okay, now we are going to create a new connection. Okay, so in the last class we created one SP connection, right? So similarly today also we are going to create a new connection. Okay, so create a new connection. Okay, do not use a template, the same step will follow. Okay, do not use a template. Okay, browser SSO profiles, SAML 2.0 protocol, because we are going to use a SAML 2.0 protocol only. Okay, click on next. Okay, so choose the browser SSO and then click on next. Okay, so here application team shared all the details in a manually. Okay, so they didn't share any other metadata file or metadata link actually. So we are going to go with the manual option, that is a none. Okay, none option. Okay, click on next. So here what is the entity ID they have given here? test-sp2. Okay, so put it here, test-sp2. Okay, so we have given the entity ID. Next, connection name. Okay, so give some connection name, test-sp2. We can give the same name also, that is not a problem. Okay, so here company name, just give it test. We don't want any other details because these are all for our purposes. When you are implementing a Pinf Federate, right, at that time you can specify the application team contact number. So here these, if the details which is these details are shared by one application team, right? So that application team will have a definitely will have a contact detail, right? So you can you can mention the contact number, contact name of that person, contact email ID of the person here. Okay, and then click on next. Okay, next choose the configure browser SSO. Choose configure browser SSO. Okay, so here choose SP initiated SSO as well as IDP initiated SSO. Okay, so click on next. So as I already mentioned, the SAML request, so within 5 minutes it should have to reach the identity provider side, and then after creation of the SAML response, it should have to the service provider should have to validate the SAML response. So that is the time limit, minutes before and minutes after. Okay, click on next. Okay, next we are going to create a create a SAML response. Okay, so in last class we have seen only SAML subject, right? But here what are the other details they are asking? So apart from the SAML subject, they are asking three other attributes. Okay, so we are going to create these attributes also. Okay, so configure accession creation. Okay, it's every time it should be the standard. Okay, click on next. So here the SAML subject we already there actually. Okay, the SAML subject, and what are the other attributes they are also asking? They are asking UID, first name and last name, right? Okay, so create it. Okay, extend the contract. In extend the contract, so if the application team is requesting more than the SAML subject means you can extend those attributes in the extend the contract. Okay, so in extend the contract you can able to add those attributes and map those attributes. Okay, so they are asking UID, add it, and then first name, add it, and then last name. Okay, add those things. Okay, so add all the things. This format, right? This format will be shared by the application team only. Okay, so in the metadata file, this format will be there. Okay, so if they didn't share the format, if they didn't share the format, or if they forgot to share the like attribute format, means you can mention it as a unspecified and then the basic. Okay, so you can mention it as a unspecified and then the basic. So if they specify some other thing, means you can give that one. Okay, but if they forgot to tell this one, like whether you have to go with unspecified or whether you have to go with a basic, means if they forgot to specify anything, means you can mention it, you can give either unspecified or basic also, so it doesn't matter, you can give anything else. Okay, anything you want. Okay, yeah, within these two, like unspecified and basic. Okay, so they are asking three attributes along with the SAML subject. Okay, click on next. So here what adapter they are asking? HTML adapter, right? So map the HTML adapter here, map new adapter instance, click on here. Okay, map the adapter in the drop down. Okay, click on next. So here in the last class we have seen only the adapter contract values. Okay, because we got the username of a particular user from the adapter itself. Okay, because in adapter the username and password it has been stored, right? So we can able to get the username of the username from the adapter itself. Okay, but here apart from the username, apart from the UID, they are also asking email address, they are also asking first name and last name. Okay, so first name, last name, email address, we can't able to get it from the adapter itself. Okay, so we need to search it in the LDAP. Okay, right, we need to search it in the LDAP, then only we can able to get the attributes. Okay, so here what is the option? So here choose the first option, retrieve additional attributes from multiple data stores, because we are going to retrieve the attributes from the data stores actually. Okay, because from the data stores only the user will have that information, right? That first name, last name, mail address, UID, every information about a user can be found from the data store only. So here we have created one data store, right, in the last class. So from that data store we are going to get the attributes and map those attributes and we are going to send in the SAML response. Okay, so choose the first option and then click on next. So here add attribute source, we need to add a attribute source. Okay, so then only we can able to get the attributes. Okay, add attribute source. Okay, the source ID will be same, you can give whatever you want. Okay, just a source ID and source description, whatever the name you can able to give it. Okay, so now here active data store. Okay, so in the drop down the data store which you have created in the last class, right? So that data store will be comes in the drop down. Okay, choose that data store. Okay, and then click on next. So here the base DM. Okay, so as I already in the last class, while creating a PCB, we have given the search based DN, right? DC equal to example comma DC equal to com. Okay, to search for the user. Okay, so here I need to search the user Karthik G. So how can I come? So I will come from this base DN only, right? So this will be acting as a search base. Okay, root search. Okay, so from that root it will search the user. Okay, so here DC equal to example comma DC equal to com. Okay, so here why we are applying this search base here? Okay, why we are giving the search base here also means, so I mean in PCV we are giving for authentication. Okay, so it will search the user and it will get the password and it is for authentication purposes. Okay, but here this search base, right? Okay, why we are giving this means, so after authentication, okay, after authentication we need to send the SAML response, right? Okay, so in the SAML response they are asking last name of a particular user, first name of a particular user, UID as well as email address, right? So they are asking these four attributes to be sent in the SAML response. So these four attributes won't be available in the, UID will be available in the adapter, but email address or first name or last name won't be available in the adapter, right? So it will be available in the data store. So that is why we are going to search it. We are going to search the user and get that particular attribute for a particular user, okay, from the data store. Okay, so for example, if if there is a user known as Karthik, right? So here I'm using this UID to log in into the application. Okay, so from my SAML response, if I am sending the username, first name, last name, and then mail address means, okay, so in the SAML response my first name should be there, my last name should have to be there, and then my email address should have to be there, and my UID should have been there. Okay, so how can I go and search this user, particular user details and send in the SAML response? So for that only we are mapping the data store in the previous step, and then so here we are giving the DN, and now here the search scope will be the same, it's a subtree only. So here in this one we are going to get the attributes. Okay, so we are going to, what are the attributes we are going to get it? There are four attributes they are asking, right? So mail, click on search for the mail and add attribute, and then so here as I already mentioned in LDAP, what is the last name attribute? It's surname, right? It's SN, right? While discussing about the LDAP, I mentioned about that attribute name in the LDAP, right? So we have to give that exact value here. Okay, search for the attributes. So first of all, first attribute is the mail attribute they are asking. So I have got the mail. Next one is that surname, that is the last name. Okay, so SN add attribute. Okay, next one is that given name. Next one is that given name. So here next one, given name is nothing but what is that? It is the first name, right? So the third attribute they are asking first name, right? So first name has been stored under given name in LDAP. Okay, so choose the given name, add attribute. Okay, what is the last attribute they are asking? UID, right? So they are asking the user ID. So it has been stored under UID. Okay, search for the UID, choose it and add attribute. Okay, so now we got all these attributes, right? We got all these attributes from the LDAP. Okay, so next we need to give the filter, right? So we have given the base, we have given the search base, but here in this search base, how it is finding the user, how it is how it is going and find the exact user, email address and everything. How can we how can it go and check the users means? So in the next step we are going to give the filter. Okay, in the next step we are going to give it in the filter. Okay, so this filter, okay, what is a filter in the PC we are given? UID is equal to $username, right? The same thing we are going to give it. Okay, UID. So if you have any doubts means you can find it here itself. Okay, here itself you can copy this, okay, and then paste it here. So UID is equal to $username. So this $username will be replaced with the UID which I typed in the login page. Okay, so for example, in the login page during authentication, I will be typing my one user ID, right? KA546123. Okay, so UID is equal to KA546123. So it will change. This dollar value will get changed to the UID is equal to KA546123. Okay, so again, so this is the filter. Okay, UID is equal to KA546123. Then it will come to this LDAP directory search. It will come to this LDAP directory search. Then it will go to this base TN. It will go to the base TN. Okay, so here this is the base TN we have configured. Okay, then under this base TN, what is the search filter we have given? UID is equal to KA546123, right? So it will check for the user UID is equal to KA546123. So this is the user, and for this user, what are the attributes we have got from the LDAP? Given name, mail, SN, UID. Okay. So then it will get my first name, last name, UID as well as the mail address. So it will get all of the 4 attributes which I asked in this particular step. Okay. Click on next. So this one is done. Okay, so 4 attributes we are going to get it from the LDAP. Okay, so 4 attributes we have got it. Okay, but we got the attributes, but we need to map it, right? So while creating a SAML accession, we got one is SAML subject, other 3 are normal attributes, right? So we need to map these attributes to those values, right? So that is the next step we are going to do it. Okay, so here click on next. So here, what is the SAML subject they are asking? The SAML subject they are asking as an email, right? So here, choose the source. So we got the source from the LDAP, right? So choose the source. So in the previous step, we might gave it as a adapter as a source, because we sent only the username. So we got the username from the adapter itself. So the adapter will act as a source. So here we are getting from the LDAP. So that is why we are giving the source as a LDAP. Okay, what is the value for the SAML subject? We are going to get it email address, right? So choose the mail value, choose the mail. So this mail we have got it from the attribute sources lookup, right? Next, what is the first name okay, what is the first name? That is a given name, right? Choose the given name. So what is the last name? Choose the SN. Okay, what is the UID? Choose the UID. Okay, so now we have mapped all the attributes which you have created in the SAML accession. Okay, now click on next. Okay, so this one you can ignore it, click on next. So this is a summary page, click on done. Okay, so now we have mapped one adapter. So after, when I try to access this application, I will be getting the HTML form adapter. Okay, click on next. So here in the summary page, you might understand this one. Okay, so I have given the HTML. Okay, so here we have created 4 attributes. One is SAML subject, that is a mandatory attributes. So apart from the SAML subject, there are 3 other attributes we need. Application team is asking us to send SAML subject, mail address as a SAML subject, first name, last name, UID of a user. So they are asking these 4 attributes to be sent. Okay, so that is why we have created 4 attributes. Okay, now if you scroll down, they are asking to map the HTML adapter. So we map the HTML adapter. Then we can't able to get the first name, last name, mail address from the adapter itself. So we have to choose the data store. We have to get the attributes from the data store, that is the LDAP. Okay, right. So that is why we have given the source as LDAP, source ID. Okay, that is a type of a data store, and then the data store which you have given, right? So next one is that we need to give the LDAP filter, and what are the attributes we needed from the LDAP, right? So here when I try to give my username, okay, so KA546123 after authentication, so here it will come here, UID is equal to KA546123. So it will, this dollar username will be changed to the KA546123. Then it will go to this base DN. So DEC is equal to example comma DC equal to com. So here under this base DN, so it will search the user. UID is equal to KA546123. So it will search it here. Okay, it will found the user. Then it will, what are the attributes it will get? Mail address of KA546123, last name of KA546123, first name of KA546123, and then UID of KA546123, right? So it will get all the 4 attributes. Then where it is mapping these 4 attributes, so here UID is equal to KA546123, first name that is Karthik, last name that is G, and then SAML subject, mail address pingtest2021@jogmail.in. So it will, all the values has been mapped to here. Then in the SAML response, you can able to see it once we configure it, access it. Once the SAML has been created, you can able to see all the attributes. Okay, so just we will next, in the next couple of minutes we will test it actually. Okay, so click on done. Okay, so this one has been successfully done. So what will be the next step? So we have created SAML profiles. What is a SAML profile? That means we have given the entity ID, and then we also gave the ID finisher SSO as well as S finisher SSO, and then we have created a accession creation. That means SAML creation. Like we have we have created 4 attributes. We have mapped one adapter, and then we got 4 attributes from the LDAP and mapped with that 4 attributes we have created, right? So that is the accession creation. Okay, the next step will be the protocol settings. So what will be the protocol settings? In the protocol settings, we will be sending the ACS URL, right? So that is the next step. Click on next. Configure protocol settings. So here choose the binding as post. So what is the redirection URL they have given? https://apc.com, right? So copy this value and paste it here, okay, and add it. That's all. You can give whatever you want. That is your wish only. Okay, I mean that is not your wish. That will be like a client application side wish actually. Okay, so whatever the client application they are requesting to give the give the particular URL as a ACS URL means you can give that exact URL without space in that ACS URL. Okay, so now I have given it here. Click on next. So here the binding, as I already mentioned, the binding will be post and redirect only. Okay, post and redirect only. Click on next. Okay, so the signature policy. Okay, so here we need to choose always sign accession. Okay, so my recommendation to go with the always signing the SAML response by using one signing certificate. Okay, because it is recommended even if you go for a ping vendor, right? They will also say always sign accession is a recommended option actually. Okay, click on next. Okay, so here encryption policy will be none. We don't have any third-party certificate to encrypt the content. Okay, click on next. Okay, so this is a summary page. Okay, click on done. Now protocol settings has been done. Okay, so now we have created all the things. Okay, click on next, and this is the whole summary page of a browser SSO. Okay, browser SSO what we have configured, right? So scroll down to the bottom, click on done. Scroll down to the bottom, click on done. So this configure browser SSO is all now done. Now what is the next step? That is the mapping the signing certificate. So we have enabled that option. So once we enable the option, we need to give the signing certificate, right? So that is the next step. Okay, click on next. So here configure credentials. So here we need to choose the configure credentials to configure the certificate, actually signing certificate. Configure credentials here. Okay, choose the signing certificate which we have already created, right? We have created a signing certificate from our Pinf Federate console. I think we did it in the last class. Okay, so I mean you don't need to create each certificate every time when you try to configure a SAML connection or OAuth connection. Okay, you can use a single signing certificate for all the applications actually. Okay, so this is not mandatory to use a separate certificate for each connection actually. So that is also not recommended actually. Use a universal signing certificate for all the applications. It may be like a SAML application or it may be like a OAuth application, but use a single certificate. Okay, choose a single certificate, choose a certificate which we have already created. Click on next. Okay, so this is a summary page. Click on done. Okay, so this is again a summary page of a credential. So everything has been done. General info, browser SSO, credentials. Next one is that activation and summary. Okay, so this has been already done. Okay, so if you are using a older version, right? So if you are implementing a older Pinf Federate version, means this option will be, I mean, it's not automatic actually. So you need to enable this option as a manually. Okay, only in a latest version this option will be considered as automatically enabled, or else you have to like enable it manually. Okay, I mean like this will be there, so you need to just click on to the green button, that's all. Okay, scroll down to the bottom, check all the configuration and save it. Okay, so if all the configurations are perfectly created means click on save. Okay, so now we have created a second connection, right? So now shall we go ahead and test it? Okay, open another tab. Okay, so in the last class we have installed the SAML tracer, right? to enable that SAML tracer. So I have enabled the SAML tracer. Now click on the second connection and hit this IDP initiated SSO URL. Right click, open a link in a new tab. So now it has been asking to type my username and password. What is my username and password here? So KA546123, right? Give this here and then type my password. Okay, I'm typing my password. Okay, so it is authentic. Oh, sorry, I think I typed my wrong password. Okay, now here you could see, right, once I type my correct password, it has been redirecting to me to the abc.com. okay, so you can ignore these errors actually, because we are testing only. So obviously this error will be, because I mean this abc.com, there is no website under the name as abc.com, right? So that is why the request, I mean this kind of error is coming, but that is fine. Okay, so it has been redirected to the abc.com, that SS URL, right? So here, if you go back to the SAML tracer, you can able to see the SAML response, right? So here, this is a SAML response. Click on here. Okay, choose the SAML here. Okay, and then copy the content of the SAML. Okay, copy the content of the SAML and paste it in the Notepad++. Okay, so that we can able to explain it. You can able to understand it clearly. So if you scroll up, okay, obviously that SAML 2.0, this is the version. Okay, SAML 2.0 protocol we are used. So this is a SAML issuer, that is our Pinf Federate identity provider entity ID, that is a ping-test. What is the status? Status is a success. Okay, next next again the SAML assertion version is also 2.0, and SAML assertion issuer obviously like our Pinf Federate identity provider only. Okay, so these are the normal syntax actually. Okay, you can ignore that. So here this is a SAML subject, it has been started. Okay, so what is the SAML subject we are sending? The mail address, right? So what is the mail address of my user ID? pingtest2021@zogomail.in, right? So that is the mail address. It has been passed through the SAML subject actually. So this is a SAML subject. Okay, so apart from the SAML subject, what are the other attributes we are sending? UID, first name and last name, right? Okay, so if you scroll down, those attributes will be there actually. Okay, so if you scroll down here, you could see, right, these are the SAML attributes. Okay, so attribute UID we are sending, right? So UID, what is the value we are getting? KA546123, that is the value. Next, what is the next we are sending the first name. So here you could see, right, first name, and then the last value will be the last name. Okay, so here we are getting the last name. Okay, so this is how you can able to troubleshoot the SAML response actually. Okay, so any doubts till now, guys? Okay, so this SAML configurations, any doubts till now? So there are two ways we have seen it. One is directly configuring the adapter values. Next one is retrieving the attributes from the LDAP, retrieving the attributes from the LDAP. So there are two cases we have seen till now. Okay, so any doubts till now? Any doubts, guys? Like in the configurations, in the SAML response, any doubts till now? And then if you are, I mean, if you are feeling that I'm going too fast, means you can let me know. I'll slow down a bit actually. Okay. Any doubts, guys? No, right? Okay. So I will give you one task actually. Okay. Everyone please make a note of it, or else I will also paste you in the chat actually. Okay, so what we can say, okay, create a PCV. Okay, so if you if you already did this step, like a PCV step or a data store step, means, okay, that is fine, you can ignore it. Okay, okay, create a data store. Okay, PCV HTML adapter. Okay, and then, okay, create a SAML connection with entity ID test-sp1, ACS URL www.google.co.in. okay. SAML attributes, what are the SAML attributes we can able to get it? Okay, give the same UID, first name, last name, and mail. Okay, okay, mail as a separate attribute. Okay, please send the mail as a separate attribute, UID as a SAML subject. Okay, now we have seen mail address in a SAML subject, right? Okay, just do the ulta, right? So UID as a SAML subject, send the mail as a normal attribute. Okay, so please do this after the session actually. Okay, like hands-on like that. Okay, so I pasted you in the chat. Okay, so after the session, or if you are having a free time means, you can have this hands-on and you can do this. So if you are feeling any doubts in while doing this hands-on means, you can make a note of that question and then you can ask me tomorrow before the class. Okay, is that okay for you guys? Okay, any doubts guys till now this SAML configuration? If you have any doubts, you can let me know now itself, so I can clarify, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So till now, any doubts? Shall we move on to the next topic, or else shall we do some other one more connection? Okay, shall we do one more configuration also in a SAML? Okay, yes. Okay, so we will do one more configuration with the SAML and then test it, and then we can move on to the next topic. Okay, yeah, close this one, close this. Okay, so here go to the SP connection again. Okay, go to the SP connections again. Okay, now we can create one more configuration. Okay, so similarly now we will send only two attributes. Okay, one is mail address as a SAML subject, and then we will send the first name of the user. Okay, so we will send two attributes. Create a new connection. Okay, now listen carefully. Again, we are going to continue the same thing. Create new connection. Do not use a template. Click on next. Browser SSO profile. Choose the 2.0 protocol only, SAML 2.0. So click on next. Okay, browser, choose the enable the browser SSO. Click on next. Okay, so here, as I already mentioned, we don't have a metadata, right? So the application team already gave this detail. Okay, give test-sp3 and then ACS URL as whatever we want actually. Okay, whatever we want. Okay, yeah. So now metadata as none. Click on next. Okay, partners entity ID. So what is a service provider entity ID? Test-sp3, right? So that is the entity ID they have given. Okay, so if you are already using the same entity ID which is already used means, it will throw an error. Okay, so let's say test-sp2, it's already used, right? Okay, that value has been already used, right? So I'm using the same value. Let's see what kind of error I am receiving. Okay, click on next. So here you could see, right, the connection ID you have specified is already in use. Okay, so that means we can't able to use the duplicate. Okay, because this entity ID, it's a mandatory value, right? It's a unique value. Okay, so it should have been in a unique state. Okay, so give test-sp3, give the connection name as same. Okay, click on next. Okay, now what is the next step? So general info has been done. So three steps are there. One is browser SSO, one is credentials, right? So now configure the browser SSO. So in configure the browser SSO, there are 5 steps are there, right? One is just a SAML profile, IDP initiated SSO as well as SP initiated SSO. Next one is assertion lifetime, that is the 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. Okay, so the next step is that SAML response creation. So this is the one, this is where you are providing the attributes, right? What are the attributes they need in the SAML response? Okay, so here configure assertion creation, the same standard step will be there. Click on next. Okay, so here what they are asking in SAML subject, they are asking the mail address, and then apart from the SAML subject, please send the first name also. So they are asking two attributes, mail address in the SAML subject and then first name in the contract, right? So add this one, click on next. So here again choose the same HTML form adapter, choose the same adapter, okay, choose the adapter instance, choose the HTML form, okay, click on next. Again, so here we can't able to get the attributes from the adapter, right? So we need to get it from the LDAP. So choose the first option, click on next, okay. So here again the same step will get repeated, okay, add attribute source, okay, choose the source, give the source ID and then source description, anything you want, okay. The data store type will be automatically come actually if I choose the data store, okay. So here has been automatically coming, click on next. So here what is the base TN DC equal to example comma DC equal to com, right? Okay, so give the same thing, DC equal to example comma DC equal to com, okay. So this is the same base DN we have given, okay. Now here show all attributes. What are the two attributes they are asking? Mail address and then given name, right? Okay, choose the mail address and then given name here, given name, okay. So two attributes they are asking, right? Given name and then mail address. So base is also done, and what are the attributes we need, that is also done. Click on next. So here the filter obviously UID is equal to dollar username, okay, dollar username, that means KA546123, UID is equal to KA546123. It will go to this before step and then go to this search based DN, search for the user and get the given name of KA546123 and then mail address of a KA546123, okay. Next. So here this one is done. This is a summary page, okay. Click on next. So here is the tab we are going to map the attributes actually, okay. The SAML subject and then the first name, okay. So choose the select source as LDAP. What is the SAML subject they are asking? Mail address, right? So choose the mail address and then what is the first name? That is a given name, right? LDAP given name, okay. So we have mapped these two attributes, okay. So click on next, okay. So this one is done, click on next, okay. So there's a summary page, click on done, okay. So now we have mapped that adapter. So we have mapped that session lifetime, we have created identity creation as well as we also mapped that session creation also, okay. Click on next. So here this is a summary page of the whole browser session creation. Scroll down, done, okay. So now SAML profiles, session lifetime and session creation is also done, okay. What is the next step? Protocol settings is the next step, right? Click on next, okay. So here choose the protocol settings, okay. So here give the binding as post, give the binding as post. What is the endpoint URL they are asking? So they are asking some let's say what we can say, okay. So what is that endpoint URL they're asking, okay. So give some endpoint URL, okay. I mean SS URL of your own, okay. www.google.co, okay. Let's say like just give google.com, that is fine. Click on add, okay. So this one is done, click on next, okay. Uncheck the artifact and so choose only post and redirect, click on next, okay. Signature policy as always sign the session, choose this one, click on next, okay. Encryption policy has been none, okay. Choose the none, click on next, okay. So this is a total summary page for a browser SSO, protocol settings of a browser SSO. Click on done, okay. So this one SAML profiles has been done, a session lifetime has been done, a session creation done, protocol settings has done, okay. Next one is the browser SSO summary. Scroll down and then done, okay. So now browser SSO done. What is the next step? We need to choose the signing certificate, right? Click on next, okay. Configure the credentials, configure credentials, okay. Choose a signing certificate which we have created already, okay. Choose that one, click on next, okay. This is a summary page. Click on done. Okay. So this is the next one, activation and summary. Scroll down and save it. Scroll down and save it. Okay. Now we have configured the third configuration also. Okay. Right. So we have configured third configuration also. Right. So now choose the third configuration. Choose the third configuration. Okay. SAML, go open the SAML tracer, clear the SAML tracer. Okay. Now try to authenticate. Okay. Open another tab, open link in another tab. Okay. So now type the same username 546123. Okay. Type the username and password. Okay. Hit it. So here it has been redirected to the google.com, right? Okay. So go to the SAML response here. Okay. Go to the SAML response. Copy the SAML response. Okay. And paste it in the notepad++. Here this is the same response will be there, SAML 2.2, the status code, I mean this is a issuer, status code as success. Okay, again this is a issuer. Okay, if you scroll down, this is a SAML subject. What is the SAML subject value we are sending? The mail address, right? So we got the mail address, and then if you scroll down, apart from the mail address, we are also sending the SAML attribute as first name, right? So what is the first name we are sending? So this is my first name. Okay, it has been reflected here. Okay, so this is how you can able to create a SAML configurations. Okay, and then you can able to test the SAML connection whether it is working or not. Okay, by seeing the attributes in the SAML response. Okay, so any doubts guys till now? So till now any doubts this SAML configurations? Okay, any doubts guys till now? Okay, okay, so yes. Okay, so till now, okay, you can go back and then you can create, okay, practice creating the data store, HTML adapter and the SAML connection, okay, with these values. Okay, so today before closing this call, okay, we'll go back to the Pinf Federate installed folder. Okay, so we have where we have installed in the Windows C program files. So we have installed that Ping identity, right? So we have installed the Pinf Federate here. Okay, go to the local disk C. Okay, where we have installed the Pinf Federate. Okay, so here this is the one which I installed, Pinf Federate 10.3.3. Okay, open that one. Okay, open the Pinf Federate. Okay, so here this is the backend folders. Okay, so if you go to the log folder, right, you can able to see the logs actually. Okay, we can able to see the logs. Okay, so if you open the admin.log file, right, so if you open the admin.log file, so it will have the admin status actually, whatever the admin status has been doing in the admin console. I mean, like today I am the user, so login attempt has been done by me, and then I have created two connections, right? So that is why it has been showing SP connection, create two connections which has been created, right? So this is the activity which I did today, right? So again, if you go back to I think 2 days on Friday, if you open that Friday's log file, okay, so here what are the admin activities I have done? Login attempt, and then we have created a data store, and we have tested the connection, right, to the LDAP, right? And then we have also like import one certificate, that LDAP certificate, and then we also created one importing the trusted CA certificate, right? Yes, And then we also test connection. Again, we have created a test connection, and then we have modified, like we have changed it to LDAP to LDAP PS, right? That is the one. Next one, we have created a PCB, and then we have created an adapter, HTML adapter, and then we also created a signing certificate, right? That is the one. And then we have created finally we have created a SAML connection. So this is how the log file for admin activity. So you can able to track all the administrators activity in the console. So if someone did some kind of a backend change, right, you can able to track it by going to the admin.log folder. Okay. Yeah. So, and then if you go to the audit.log, okay, so this for administrator activities, this for user activities, this audit.log file, if you open it, this will have all the user activities here. You could see, right? So this is the date which we have tried, okay, and then this is the time, which time we have tried to hit the application URL, and then this is the transaction ID. Transaction ID is unique for each transaction, okay, and then what is the, I mean, it will be same for each user actually, okay, each user ID. Then what is the connection which I tried actually? So here we I mean, this is the IP address which I have tried to access the application from, okay, which application I have tried it, okay. So this is a in progress, this is the first one. Next, I have typed my username, okay, and then the third step only, it is validated, right? It has been validated, right? And then in the fourth step only, after validation, it is creating a SAML response. It is creating a SAML response with the SAML subject as my mail address, okay, and then it is showing as a successful, which adapter has been triggered. This is the microseconds for the whole transaction, okay. So these seconds are has been in microsecond, not as a normal seconds, okay. Yeah, so this is a second attempt which I tried, okay. So this is second attempt which I tried with the test-sp3, okay. So this is for a audit.log file, okay. Now if you go to the server.log file, right, it will have all the information actually, okay. So if you open the server.log file, it will have all the operations. So it will have all the operations with the admin activities as well as the user activities, okay. So this will have more details than the audit.log file as well as the admin.log file. So if you are throwing some errors, or if you are receiving any kind of error, right, we can able to track it from the server.log file actually, okay. And then transaction.log. So if you open the transaction.log, this will have, I mean, this one does not have that much information. So it will have only the SAML response has been sent or not actually, okay. So here the SAML response has been sent successfully, okay. So to which one, this is the endpoint has been, SAML response has been sent to this particular endpoint. Similarly, this is second one, okay. So the status as a successful, okay. So this transaction.log won't have much information about each transaction, okay. Yeah. So any doubts guys till now any doubts? This configuring a SAML connection, and then like creating a PCB, creating a data store, okay. So tomorrow we will continue with the Pinf Federate class again, the SAML configuration, okay. Tomorrow we will continue the class with the same, I mean, not as a SAML, we'll continue with the SAML by creating a one more adapter, and then let's see, okay. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you for joining today, okay. So we can continue the session on tomorrow, okay. So thank you so much for today's session guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just go through this, and then just try to like do this hands-on, which has been in the chat box, okay. Try to do that, and then if you are having any doubts, we can discuss it in the starting of the next class, okay.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much guys, thank you so much. Yeah, if
you
you have any
just a question before you go, like, so I can try to create as much connections as I want, and like if I can succeed, I can delete them off as well, right?
Yes, you can delete them. That is not a problem. Yeah. So I mean, I will tell you tomorrow how to delete it and everything. Okay. Because if that connection is in usage, or if it is using, means I mean, if the Pinf Federate is using that particular configuration, means you can't able to delete it in the ping actually. Okay, so you need to stop that usage. Okay, and then you have to delete it. Okay, I will tell you how to stop that, and then how to delete that one. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, Manish, Saurav, and Santosh. We will see you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. So Rakesh, thank you so much for today's session. Yeah. Thank you.